So in 2023, after consultation with myself, not like I had a coach, which is very important to always have before you go into farming, especially when you are new or you are young in farming. You don't just dive into anything without a coach or a teacher. That was the first mistake I did. After consultation with myself, I felt it was the right time to go into farming because it has always been a dream, a passion to own a farm or to venture into agriculture. I had a bit of background because my father was an agri extension officer. So I went straight to acquire a land around Nasarawa State. That's somewhere before Kefi. And I went to one of the villages through a friend, because I asked question, where can I get land for farming? And then they contacted 1, 2, and then I landed in a village there. And I told them that I want a piece of land for farming. As I narrate my story, the errors that I made, so that you understand the story and pitfalls to avoid when you want to start your own farm too. So error 1 that I did was telling these locals that I need a piece of land and this is my first time of going into farming. Was the first error that I did. Most times they take advantage of you. I was to rent the land for a year just for that farming season, and then subsequently, if it's okay, I'll keep renting. That was the plan I had. And they said, okay, no problem, that they can help me get a piece of land. And I asked them how much. They said, in as much as they knew. But they said they will make consultations and then they will get back to me. And I left with all joy. They said all manner of things. We are going to help you. We'll ensure that you get the best and everything. Because they had asked me 1 or 2 things about farming, and my responses were not this strong. So they knew I was really coming in for the first time. I got a call after a day or 2 that they had gotten a place and then I should come and check. Obviously, what did I know? They asked me, what size do I want? Error number 2, maximum I should have started with should have been 1 hectare because this was my first time. But I said 2. I get a big dream now. I wanted something big. You start small and grow. But I didn't have a coach. So they said 2 hectares. I said, okay. The amount they called at that time, it was something I saw that it was very affordable. And I went ahead and I made payment. After payments were made, error number, I'm losing count already. There was no legal documentation. No receipt was issued. No legal agreement was written between this time to this time. Please. Lesson number 1, don't tell locals that you are going in or you are coming in for farming for the first time. Lesson number 2, always document any payment you make. Always get binding documents. 3, start small with 1 hectare. Don't bite more than you can chew. Start small and then grow. So payments was made for clearing, harrowing, plowing of the land. Another error was I didn't do soil test to know whether this land was suitable for the plant for the crop I wanted to plant. Mine was, I've seen the land and I went straight. And know it, most of this land is gotten before the rain starts, so you wouldn't know whether it's suitable or not, but soil test will prove whether this soil fits this particular crop that you're about to plant or not. I didn't do all of that. Ahead, they did all of the clearing, and that's the whole of the land preparation was done. And we're awaiting rain so that we could plant. When it comes to seed, there are specific seed that are recommended for planting. You don't just, because I wanted to plant granite, I'll just go and just harvest some granite that were kept, or just go to the open market and just buy any granite in the open market and went straight to plant. But obviously that was what I did because I didn't know. I just went straight to the open market. They told me the amount of, I was asking them in Mudu. I should have weighed this with kg. Okay, one hectare, how many kg will it carry if you are planting with this ratio? I knew all of this later, but I knew them in a hard way. Stay to the end because you'll be wowed what happened at the end of the story. So I bought groundnut when the rains finally came and I planted. I was so excited. They planted. The amount of groundnut they told me to buy for planting, I bought this and I sent it across to them. And they reached out and said, no, it's not enough, the one you bought. And I said, but that was what you told me. I was going to say, no, they were planting, and then for any reason, it got finished. These were part of the things I told you, that farmers will rip off your head because they knew I didn't know. I bought again and I sent across because I was excited I was going to harvest much from 2 hectares of farming that year. And I'd already estimated, I'm going to be a big boy by the time I harvest and sell, So I bought and I sent again. And finally, I was able to meet up the target. And they planted. And I came when it was just sprouting up. And I saw how beautiful it was. It actually sprouted. I will come to that in the course of this video. And I left. Another mistake. You keep monitoring your farm. These things are like children. You don't expect to leave your kids for somebody or just leave them without attention, giving them attention. Then you expect them to be the same. The same thing with your house, your clothes. You don't wash them. You don't check on them. When you come back, you might not meet anything. I left it in the hands of this farmer because I felt that, this is their community. I was giving them some things. I was sending them little money, So I felt they were going to take it like their own. Little did I forget that they had their own farms too. And those farms need attention, not just yours. You're going to give their own 100% attention to. When it came to fertilizer application, they reached out and said this X amount of fertilizer was needed. Another error, I didn't buy, I only sent them the money. So even if they bought, would I have known? No evidence to, send me video evidence, picture, nothing. I just gave them money. I said, okay, get fertilizer and then do application. After a while, they reached out and said, Oga, we don't do fertilizer this year, not be small groundnut, you go pack, come up from here. When I hear these calls, right within me, I just felt the next year, I was going to farm another 4 hectares. I was going to double what I found this year. It went like that. And then so one of the days I visited and I saw the farm. Oh, what I saw. Most of the crops had died. That's number 1. 2, the leaves were looking so yellowish, meaning the land was not really okay. 3, the seed that we planted probably were not even the right ones. 4, the spacing as to when they were planting, the spacing was not, there were so many things that was not right. And I saw that half of the crops were not performing well. And I still encouraged myself. And I said, half, I was going to get half. And I forgot, I sent money for weed control, that is for chemical, and then for hand weeding. All the times I sent money. And the other time I visited, the part of it, forgot to say, it was taken over by weeds. And I complained, what happened? They just gave one man a reason and told me, okay, no worry, tomorrow we are going to remove all the whole weeds. And by the time we do this weeding now, the groundnut will pick up. And I left. The next time I came back again was when it was almost getting towards harvest. And I came and I checked again. And I actually saw that, okay, it actually improved. They did some weeding and it actually improved. And I left. Brethren, you know the worst that happened? When it was time for harvest, and I reached out, I said, when do we start harvesting? Because by now, with my calculation, they should be matured. They said it was time for harvest, and I should send money for harvesting. And when you harvest, you are meant to leave the groundnut at least 2 to 3 days on the farm. And I asked them, was it safe to leave it on the farm? And they said, yes, it's safe. That's what we all do here. That at least for some times before we now rip them off. If you know how this groundnut is, you just remove, turn them, and then allow them on the farm before. That's the traditional way of doing. And then you allow them on the farm. After some time, then you can cut them off. And I asked if this was safe. They said, Ghana, what do they do now? This place is safe. And I sent money for that. And after 2 weeks, I said, I think it should be enough. Let's begin to rip them off so that we can think of bargain. Lo and behold, that was when they say, "Oh, God, we not tell you. Actually, maybe waiting we plan." When you hear that word, actually, my friend will say, something has happened. And the man said, actually, Fulani brought their cows and ate all of your groundnut. Say, waiting remain. I just like maybe one bag. Eh? So if I had not called you, you won't call me to tell me that this was what happened. And each time I said I was coming, the guy just kept dribbling me. I'm not available. I went to market. So person is hospitalized. I am there. And it began to turn like there was something beyond that. And by the time we got there, I had lost everything. There were no cows. It was human cow. It took over everything from me. And he brought just one bag and said, "Okay, this was the only thing we recovered from 2 hectares of land." From my story, pick the lesson you will learn or the pitfalls to avoid when you want to go into farming. There are more stories I'm going to share here, my own personal experience that will help you. Farming is profitable, but you have to handle it like business. And if you do that, you will make money. There are so many things I'm going to bring to your knowledge. Working presently with smallholder farmers in different communities, I'm going to share so many experiences with you. So just stay with me on this channel. Ask questions, share your comments. I don't know it all, but at least I've had experiences over the years that I can guide a few that will want to listen. And trust me, if you follow this step, you'll be successful in your agricultural journey. Thank you so much. I remain Ikande Monday.